Good morning. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
All right, how about now?
Oh, now I can.
All
Yeah.
right, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
Probably benefited from, or what the opposite of benefit, with too much information on my part. But my doctor has put me on a testosterone treatment, and I'm only what 24 hours in, but
Hmm.
um, I can't help but feel that's going to help my energy level. It's going to help, I think, my overall just mental health. And
Yeah.
but I did wake up this morning. Every part of my body was stiff, and I have no idea it was related to that. Let me
Hmm.
clarify. I could barely move, and the
Really?
temptation would be to crawl back in the bed, and I didn't. I went and worked out. Um, so all that to say is, I'm kind of looking at let's take care of things you got to take care of. This is something that it kind
Yeah.
of snuck up on me,
Hmm.
and I don't look for excuses, but just kind of given my history, I just want to take advantage of anything I can to give me that edge. And
Yeah.
that's part of it. Good physical health. Um, haven't been sleeping well. I slept like a baby last night.
Hmm.
Uh, so
Well,
we'll
that's
see.
just check off that win because sleep is probably 80% of focus, concentration, and productivity. So,
No question. Now, Suzanne, did I tell you that our youngest son is getting married next weekend?
oh, not next weekend.
Yeah.
Wow, that came up fast.
So it's coming real fast. And
Wow.
I was just asked last night if I would not only basically give a blessing
Hmm.
to our son. I've never done something like that before. I've also been asked to serve communion to the
Oh,
bridal party,
uh-huh.
um, which I've never done before. So this is going to be kind of a special, have some sacred
Yeah.
elements. My wife has been preparing for months and months and months. We host our um, what is it? The rehearsal dinner,
Hmm.
and she's been preparing for 6 to 8 months. I
Wow.
just today ordered a new shirt.
So
I'm
typical.
gonna take my suit to the cleaners.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just looking at 24 as fresh, and I know we got a lot of cover, so I'm gonna stop talking.
Well, I want to share one thing with
Yeah,
you. I've been doing research for the last month on focus
yes,
and as it relates to being in the online space as an entrepreneur. And something really struck me this morning. So I'm doing an hour-long block first thing in the morning. And that's my personal development time. I'm journaling, I'm having my coffee, and I'm listening to different things I found. I've made a list of things I wanted to listen to in preparation for this workshop and, some of my content that's going out in relation to this. And this morning, I couldn't believe it. So we put, I wrote down, we put lots of energy into avoiding the hard and difficult, you know, finding a tool or a gadget or, some new thing that's going to save me time or work. And I was like, oh, yeah, I do that. And it's not that we don't know what to do, it's that we don't take action and doing it. And everybody sees me as such an action taker, but I'm not a completer. I take lots of action, but I'm looking 5 and 10 years down the road instead of what's my next step? What's my next step? What's my next step? So that became a homework spot for me. And one of the things that stood out is this chronic multitasking, thinking that you're getting more done by doing checking email and posting at the same time or having 20 tabs open. And here are the symptoms of chronic multitasking. gaps in short-term memory, where you forget what you were doing, where you forget, like, what's this Post-it note for? Lapses in attentiveness. So you'll be somewhere, you're doing something, and all of a sudden your attention's over here. Crap. Okay. Loss of concentration. You get bored really easy. So during a networking event, you're doing something else. Oh, that means I shouldn't be at that event if it's that boring. Communication problems with others. And then the symptoms of stress, weight gain, lack of sleep, brain spinning at nighttime. And this has actually become a syndrome called acquired attention deficit disorder.
Mm.
We've given it to ourselves because of technology and because of the amount of information coming at us. And when I really sat and meditated on that this morning, I made a decision to not have my phone present with me for 1 week.
Mm.
To when I'm talking to someone, whether it's on Zoom or in person, my phone is nowhere in sight. So I can't even, like, if it's on the computer or if it's on my desk, I can see if a notification comes up. And for a second, you're distracted, distracted, distracted. If I'm talking to someone in my house, my phone is nowhere in sight, especially not in my hand when I'm talking to my son. And then the third, which is going to be really hard, don't take my phone to the bathroom. I spend the whole entire time doing my hair and makeup, messaging, texting, answering. No, no. It would take me 20 minutes to get ready if I wasn't doing that. So I just wanted to share that because
Okay.
as your testosterone level goes up, you're going to have more energy. And as long as that's channeled towards your next step, next step, next step, awesome. But if it's channeled with, oh, I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to do this, not great.
Good guidance. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I just want to say, I know the proposal was a lot.
Yeah.
Not only a lot to do, but a lot, it's a financial commitment. So I understand where you're at in business, and I understand what you're capable of doing. That is reflected on what you're capable of doing. And if you need to ramp up to that based on increasing your income, I believe in you enough to do that and get my team started doing what they do for me for you. And that's not going to be a thing I do for everybody. It's limited because I don't want to share my team with everybody, maybe 3 or 4 people at a time. And so I didn't want you to think that it was that or nothing. We can work our way up to that if that would be more comfortable for you.
It would be, and I do appreciate. And
Mhm.
at the risk of letting all the options kind of cloud,
Yeah.
um, I can't. I'll tell you what's kind of in my mind. And you tell me if this makes sense.
Yeah.
The the folks at Sparkative are posting blogs on my behalf, blogs that I have pre-approved, but on a scheduled basis.
Hmm.
These blogs, however, have no bearing whatsoever on the rebranded Mike and the rebranded Bench Builders.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but that is kind of on quote autopilot, if you will. The podcasts are being uploaded and promoted on a weekly basis with at least 2 follow-ups to every podcast. So between podcast and their blog posting on my behalf, I've got at least 1 blog a week. I have at least 1 podcast promotion per week and at least 1 re-promotion of a prior podcast. So I know at least 3 to 4 days a week, there's something being posted on my behalf on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But your 1% comment stuck with me yesterday. If only 1% are seeing it, then okay. There's a long list, but some things that are not working. I have no funnel.
Yeah.
I have the quote newsletter that people can subscribe to. They ain't. Okay. And I know that what I've been paying for, I'm not getting a return on investment from the Sparkative standpoint. What I need to figure out is that transition, if you would. I spoke with Jason. I put a check in the mail yesterday to him, and what we need to do is kind of decide what that's going to look like. But he hasn't deviated from what he's already shared with you. We had the first kind of onboarding call. He thinks we ought to have a second onboarding call. I shared with him that which I have sent to you. I'm calling it 2024. And I continue to revise it. But I want him to have the benefit of everything else that I'm kind of working on. My point is I kind of want to compartmentalize.
Agreed.
Part of the thought would be is, making sure I've got the plan in place that if for some reason when I make that call to Christina and something goes wrong because she's relying on others, I can just not skip a beat.
Right.
Now, let me clarify, and I hope I'm saying this with as much intention that you hear. The website, the podcast, the LinkedIn posting, that's not sales.
No.
I recognize that. And so what I really need to do is be very focused on cultivating clients. If it's not cultivating clients, that's not the most productive use of my time, particularly in light of kind of where I am. And because my current clients, there's a tentativeness to each and every one of them. And that makes me this makes me more nervous than I want to be.
Yeah.
All that to say is, if we were to, for simplicity's sake, what if we said that Jason's part of your team, though I'm paying him directly? Would that be okay that we did it that way?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm mentally, yes, that's already, yeah.
And I also heard you loud and clear, and I need to do that. And that is, I need to be presenting Bench Builders as a team, not just me. But my interactions when situations arise by which they say, can you do? And it's something other than coaching. I can say, if not me, a member of my team can.
Yes.
So I've already got that internalized.
Yeah. So if you were someone else, what you're doing with Jason would have been included in that proposal I sent you, and you wouldn't have even met with him yet.
Gotcha.
But because you already have a podcast in place, and because you are who you are to me and we know each other, there's no reason for me to take what Jason does and double the price and be the middleman. I don't need to do that with you.
Okay.
But with that same thought process, the blog that's happening can just stop happening. And that's totally fine for that to stop happening. If you're okay with that, it's more about you being okay with, I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm going to move forward doing something else, because that was not working for 2 years. That was not bringing me business, was not making me money. It's just like when you walk away from something that you like doing, but if it's not making you any money, you can't do it during work hours. Does that make sense?
Well, the last comment, both comments made sense, but let me get clarification. It was my intent to discontinue Sparkative and to replace it with content that I have created.
Yes.
And I have created created and or signed off and or scheduled,
Mm-hmm.
and touch it once and it's part of the 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 schedule, if you
Yeah.
will. And it's part of a master schedule by which we can it can be tweaked. A blog on this theme on this day, a podcast promotion this day, whatever it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And but that master schedule is set it and forget it, for lack of a better term.
Yes. Yes.
What could change and what probably should change is as I get more comfortable with what it is I'm doing and or I gain clarity on what works, I would adjust that content. I would adjust anything and everything, but it's fine tuning.
Mm-hmm.
But I have allowed these other things to be a distraction from engaging with potential clients.
Yeah.
So in terms of kind of where we are, if Sparkative did not post a blog on my behalf from the point I notify them, what I got to do is work out with Jason is when are we going to do the transition? Not to complicate things. They're sitting on 8 or 10 podcasts that I've already recorded, and the question I need to work with him is, do how much have they done? How much am I obligated for them to tail out
Mm-hmm.
commitment? But my preference would be put them on notice, pick a date. This is the last podcast that you will produce on my behalf, and it may be I don't even ask them to promote it, but the last one you promote, and then do the handoff. So that logistics needs to be worked out. But
Mm-hmm.
that being said, I'm making the assumption that I'm getting slightly more comfortable with AI. The content creation thing I thought was very, very good. I think
Thank
I
you.
can do that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really intend to do a year's worth of content. But having a master schedule that fits the content pillars that I guess if I was to say what would be most helpful to me, Suzanne, is in all the things that would be most beneficial to me is one, a second set of eyes on the content pillars to see does it kind of pass your smell test on what is it
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to do. There's the website issue, and that is moving that website over. But I think what we said is the website is not bad. It
No.
needs, it needs some tweaking, if you would, and it needs functionality.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than get into the specifics of the list, what I had right here is what I have on my to-do list is number one, this conversation now, the go forward strategy. Second is I'm to get set up and go high level. I've started playing with it, but I know I've got to get more proficient in it. Um, the pitch deck. I need to revisit that pitch deck, and I really need to kind of review, if all possible, the offers with you today.
Perfect.
But that's part of the pitch deck.
Yeah.
Also know that I'm having trouble finding the ability to add plugins on Chat GPT. I don't know why.
Okay. Okay.
Also, I did as committed to. I downloaded Evernote, so I now have an Evernote account. I had no idea how to use it,
Okay.
and so if I could be so bold, why would I reinvent a content creation calendar if you've got a template?
I have so many templates. I
Okay.
have Evernote template, how I do it, and based on the mistakes I've made, I'll correct those mistakes for you, and you won't make those with Evernote. Um, Evernote is like written notebooks to me. You have a new notebook for whatever you want to keep notes on, and then you have pages in the notebook.
Okay.
And it's all searchable, which that just makes my heart happy. So versus Trello, which is visible lists of content, but it's not searchable.
Mm.
I have a Notion dashboard that a couple clients have used, which is kind of like Trello, but it looks different. Same thing. It's not searchable. And my brain, how fast I work, if someone messages me and says, I wanted your notes from XYZ, I can go and use the little search tool in Evernote and say, stand out on LinkedIn notes. And just like my Google Drive folder, It's all searchable. So that's what I like about it.
And I
Um,
hope what I'm going to say is going to make sense. I guess here's my thought, Suzanne, and that is, if you find Evernote works, I'm going to use Evernote.
awesome.
Okay. You find
Awesome.
that working with Jason works, I want to use Jason. And I'm not normally so, well, yeah, I am. I am. But what I
You
would say
are.
to you, I
Come on.
am. But what I would say to you is I want to make it so that you don't even have to kind of go through a filter. Now, I use Outlook
Hmm.
for calendar and the like, and I'm not overly proficient in Outlook. But I guess what I was going to say is the calendar tool, I use Calendly.
Mm.
Okay. So I'll have to migrate to go high level for calendar purposes, correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes. You
So
don't have to. You don't have to. Um, I don't. My calendar is on my website, and whenever I build a page or a funnel in Go High Level that goes to the calendar, I just use my normal calendar link. Um, that's because I've added tools over the years. So if I was starting fresh, like I'm considering you are, I would integrate the calendar in Go High Level because it's connected to your sales pipeline, connected to email automations, connected to everything, and it's all in one manageable. You can log in one spot and see everything. Um, that's how I would do it if I was doing it over again.
okay. So at this juncture, like I don't even use I do use a Google folder for my church leadership stuff, but I'm not a Google user. So I will
Okay.
but you're saying put the folders. Um if I'm using Evernote, that can be my folder, correct?
It can be, unless you have documents you're going to want to save for clients. That's what I use Google Drive for. And the reason I don't use Evernote to store them is because it takes up too much gigabytes or whatever in Evernote, and I didn't want to pay. So, whatever documents I need to store, for example, my coaching resources that I give to clients, they're all stored in a Google Drive folder, and I organize them in a spreadsheet. And but my personal notes are all in Evernote. My content, my insights, my journal, my my notes for clients. I have a client stack, and each client has their own notebook where I type in their notes or I put in their summary from Fathom.
This is fascinating. See, and that Fathom is something I'd like to get into also.
Yes.
Okay, what I think I'm taking us down a path I didn't necessarily need us to.
Okay.
But in terms of
Go
kind of
ahead.
where we
Reset.
are, why don't we go back to to how the conversation started, and that is, um, from a financial standpoint.
Hmm.
Um, I'm paying Spark at 1,500. I'm paying um, I'm paying Abound Social. I know 1,000. Okay, and
And they're
I'm
not connecting with people anymore on your behalf, are
yeah,
they?
they
They
are.
are. Okay.
They are. And I guess what I would say to you, I don't know what's going on with them. I just saw a post it that
I
Monty
did
had,
too.
and he had told me that he's retooling. And I guess what I think's happening, I think is he's kind of going out and building out the podcast and done for you services, these marketing services.
Hmm.
And I get, you may not think I listened, but you said something to me that did not escape my attention. Okay.
Oh, what was that?
And that is they're reaching out on my behalf, engaging people to add them as connections. Okay.
Hmm.
And where appropriate, invite certain people to perhaps be a podcast guest. And what I'm finding is there's kind of a disconnect between what they're doing and when I actually get to it.
Mm.
One, two is I don't feel that sense of urgency to be talking to somebody about the podcast when I've got 2, 3 months in the can.
Yeah.
And so I have a tendency to kind of push that off. I guess where I'm going with this is I don't have the emotional attachment to Monty and Isaac that did have for some time to Christina. Okay. But I also want to be objective. If what they're doing is not working to
Yeah.
the extent that it can be, let's just say that $1,000 I'm spending there, Married with Christina takes me back to the $2,500 that
Hmm.
that I know that I'm currently spending.
Yeah.
Okay. Now to increase that is the thing where I get a little bit of heartburn on this,
Mhm.
but I hear you loud and clear, and that's kind of part what I want to ask, and that is I'm still wrestling with the pricing. I don't mind telling you. I don't know why that has been the case. And could I share screen?
Absolutely. Let me let you go ahead.
All right. Let's do let's do this. All right, share screen doc. So I need to go. Where is it? There we go. Thank you. Okay. Am I sharing now?
Yes.
Okay, so let me make this a little more manageable. This is back to the pitch deck. Um, and maybe I just totally missed the point of the pitch deck. Um, I have had 2 or 3 podcast guests in the last month to 6 weeks say, Mike, send me something that tells me a little more about what you do.
Hmm.
That should have been in their inbox before the end of the business day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. But you've seen this pitch deck. I've kind of fine tuned it. I think you've seen it, correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will probably make a little more changes in the copy, but let's assume it's largely there. The the 5 categories that are listed on this page came directly from a AI question. What are the
Hmm.
5 most common requests for those seeking executive coaches?
Hmm.
Um, and then this is a summary of my experience. And that I have to tell you, stepping back, I can almost change the entrepreneur to 15 years. But when I just look at it that way, I realize they're paying for my seasoning. Uh,
Yeah.
and that makes it really nice and clear. This is where I want to kind of get your input on,
Sure.
um, because I may be doing it all wrong. Your guidance to me is, Mike, my default is $1,000 a month on coaching. I have one current client that I'm charging $2,000 a month.
Hmm.
Ironically, in the same organization, I'm charging the CEO $2,000 a month and his direct report $1,000 a month. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to be here's the package, if
Yeah.
you. And the $2,000 a month feels okay to me.
Hmm.
Doubling it doesn't, but I fully understand if I'm going to finance what I need to do to grow the business, and if I'm going to realize the financial, I know I got to raise my rates. It just seems as if I don't know if I'm there yet. And when I say not there yet, I just don't have a lot of coaching experience under my belt. Can you see what I've done here?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I did, and you've probably already seen this, is I kind of did the 3 tiers with 3 different target audiences in mind.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know, quite frankly, I want to be an executive coach. But why would I leave emerging and developing leaders out of the formula? Why would I leave?
And why would you charge them less when they're actually more work? So
mm, all
working
right.
with
So
an emerging and developing leader, not only are you coaching them, you're mentoring them, you're educating them.
yeah,
You are, and most likely they're not paying for you, the company's paying for you. Why would you charge them less?
I'm confused. You're saying that the charge is the same for all coaching clients, regardless of where they are?
Yeah.
Well, how did I miss this? Because I thought those 3 things were a tiered pricing
Uh,
suggestion.
Absolutely tiered pricing, meaning tiered based on how much time they get with you,
Okay, good.
but not
So I would
who they are.
got
No.
you. So you would move away from the earmarking emerging and developing leaders mid-level, and it's a good, better, best.
I think so. And if you want to leave this ideal client description, that's basically what you're doing. I would just take off the pricing, and it's one price for everyone. 4 sessions a month is $4,000. One session a month is $1,000, if that's what you're comfortable with. And I would just say, notice how much you want to work And if you're charging $1,000 a month, you're going to need 20 clients if you really want to
Yeah.
move forward faster and, replenish your personal finances, right? Do you want to work with 20 people at a time and keep track of 20 people?
I
High
do.
end, high touch
I
people?
do not.
Probably not.
I do not. I'm in my mind's eye. And by the way, though, I probably have exacerbated, if that's the way you say it, my ADD. I know that I've been ADD since I'm very young, but
Hmm.
I've got really good skills at doing that. But I've made it much worse with all these things that I have been doing over the last number of years. So your guidance would be, don't differentiate the coaching client by function. You just differentiate by how much time they get with me.
Yeah,
And
and you
the
can
point
you
you're
can leave
making,
these three different people on there, but just take the price off. You could say I work with,
thank you.
these three different clients, just take the price off and Mike is one price.
Mm. All right, you see how quickly I can do that. That makes more sense to me.
Yes. That feels way better to me. And I'll share what Dorothy said to me in regards to this.
Okay,
She's like, a hooker doesn't charge different prices for different Johns
interesting,
based on the job.
interesting.
And I was like, okay, thank you.
That works.
Right.
Got you. So what we're, but the, so can you still see what I'm showing right now?
Yeah.
I just took the prices off. One, does that work?
Yeah.
Well, I see the labels. Keep the labels, but
Mhm.
you see the differentiation. And then it's, well, tell me, I'm a mid-level manager. I says, well, we would do these type of things. It really depends on how often, but the rule of thumb would be once a month, 1,000, twice a month. By the way, for senior executives, do they do the weekly coaching?
It all depends. All
Because
depends.
I'm using, I guess, the Prosperous Coach. What I would say is something like this. Um, I'm talking to a senior leader.
Hmm.
One that I'm envisioning would be a $4,000 a month person. And I would say I would envision that we would start probably interacting on a weekly basis. And over time, we may find that you don't necessarily need it that often, but
Hmm.
my price stays the same.
Yeah.
Am I
Uh,
saying that? Am
yeah,
I
because
making
you're
sense?
charging for the transformation. You
Yes.
know, Prosperous Coach kind of showed me that it's one price and it's, my coaching engagement is $50,000. Oh, well, how many hours a week do I get for that? It's not based on hours. It's based on what you need and where we're going. We decide that together. Some weeks you might need me 15 minutes. Some weeks you might need me for 3 hours. This is all access coaching. I am your coach. I'm your mentor. I am your consultant. And we figure out how much time we need based on the work that we are doing together.
So would you change, thank you for saying that. Would you
Hmm.
change the access here? Because right now I did it kind of tiered. And I said,
No, I like that.
okay,
Because that differentiates how you're going to be available. And it implies that um, those senior leaders who are going to need you on demand coaching, they get 15 minutes whenever they need it. Of course they do. Of course they do.
okay, all right. Um, so the leadership dashboard is something that I picked up with my certification. It's a one page. I don't know if I ever showed it to you. It's pretty good.
Hmm.
Profile XT it's decent. I don't know what, but I'm going to stick with it for now. Uh, I said a master class. I'm not doing one now. I think you're going to be advising me to do one, but they would be able to participate in that master class at the $2,000 a month level,
Hmm.
and they get to not only do that, but then I'm going to I didn't know what to call it, but do I need to have a members only game plan coaching community as an option in that high tier? I was just trying to make it look like it's more value.
No, I don't. I don't think you need to say that because many of them aren't going to even know what that means.
Okay.
You could say something along the lines of um, accountability partner, peer group, mastermind group. I don't think
So
they're
master class, I could change that to mastermind group.
gonna.
All right, I can, and now that's different than master class. No, I no,
Yeah,
that's no, it's not. Mastermind group, and take the monthly master class out.
I would just say, yeah, I would just say take it out, and then it's a bonus if you say to your one-on-one clients, "Hey, I'm doing a workshop this month." I mean, that's what I do, right?
Okay, I
Um,
will. I'll play this later. So I guess what I'm hearing you say is, Mike, you can provide high quality coaching to any of these target audiences,
mhm,
but what really differentiates is what you get is how much time,
yes,
and the more you invest, the more time and the
mhm,
more services you get.
yeah,
Okay, that helps me with that. Taking the prices off helps me as well. I've got to be prepared to answer that question and say it with straight mind. And by the way, I have always just charged monthly. I've not charged up front. So what I would probably say is in the case of this, and I usually say the initial coaching engagement needs to be 6 months minimum. Would you concur with that?
yes,
Okay. So if a new client, we need to be, I need you to be willing to, and I need to be willing to commit to you to at least 6 months initially.
mhm,
And that 6 month investment would be $24,000.
mhm.
And that is not required to be paid up front. We should
Why
say,
would you say that? Why would you say that?
good point.
Stop talking.
Okay.
The investment for 6 months of coaching is $25,000.
And if
And
they push back, say,
shut
woo,
up,
yep, okay.
okay?
I
Because
can't swing that in one thing. That's not a problem. I can simply invoice you monthly.
yes,
Okay. All right.
yes,
That's good. So, game plan coaching, you okay with that name, by the way?
I love it actually.
All right,
Yeah.
good. All right. All right. I don't need to spend any more time on that one. That's an important clarification. Um, in the time we have left, why don't we use this to kind of get real clear on
Yeah.
what we can do and how we can do it.
Well,
Um,
here's kind of what I was thinking. If you want to do a ramp up based on where your income is going to go. So this is me backing up with what I know is working for me income wise. And there's no reason it won't work for you. Absolutely no reason why it wouldn't work for you. But if it doesn't, you're not going to pay for that. So, um, basically, if you're comfortable doing the website revisions that I recommend on your website, whether you need help doing that or not, you can just pay my assistant directly if you need help doing that. So that I'm happy to make a list of those things. Do this, do this, do this. And if you can take care of that, that's off the table. First priority is getting your content in order and scheduled, stopping Monty, stopping Sparkative. And as soon as we have a date for that, that's when your content will start being scheduled on LinkedIn. I am going to show you the system that I am using for LinkedIn engagement. And I will tell you when I spend 20 minutes a day doing what I'm going to show you, and this is what my assistant can do for you, or you can start off doing it yourself until you're making more money. And then you can pay my assistant to do it for you if you choose, or you pay somebody else to do it for you. He's great. He follows my exact protocol that I give him. And I will tell you, when I was doing this all on my own, 20 minutes a day, I was getting between 20 and 50 new followers every day. And I can simply decide who is going to go on my calendar for a conversation. And I'm picking them. I'm cherry picking. Oh, this one, this one, this one. And that process has allowed me a different level of confidence in with what I'm offering. Someone reached out to me this morning who is a coach for coaches. She reached out on Facebook and I said, I'm not that active on Facebook. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. She reached out on LinkedIn. It was like, oh my God, your engagement is this. And how did I don't, she immediately knew I didn't need to hire her. Where Facebook, I looked like a prospect to her. As soon as I sent her to LinkedIn, she was like, oh, we need to
Now,
have
would
a
you be open to, which could she engage you
Yes,
as a marketing expert, even though you're okay? Gotcha.
yes.
All right. So you
So,
said priority one is to develop sufficient content so
mhm,
at launch I'm good to go.
yes.
The question is, how do we do that? We'll cross all that. So your priority, that's good. And then the question would be, I mean, right now I have that. What I've got to get moved over is who hosts the website.
Okay,
Okay. I'm not sure exactly how to do that. So I may need some help on that.
okay.
Um,
Do you have
and
any idea who hosts it?
I got to figure all that out. I think the answer is I don't remember.
Where do you log in to edit your site?
Uh, I finally got admin rights through WordPress.
Hmm.
I mean, I can just take this up with
Where-
Christina, and that is I need to assume responsibility for hosting the website. And
Do you, do you know if your Go High Level with Christina, is your website in there or no?
I I don't think it. The answer is I don't think so.
Okay.
And I mean, I can turn whoever loose something and look, but I'm making the assumption that if I could just make it seamless, move the
Yeah.
website over,
Yep.
right? Shut off some of the silly things that are on there. Download this book on manufacturing success. That
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna log into Go High Level and I'm not entirely sure of the process of bringing a WordPress website in, but I know it's totally possible. Let me just take a quick look. If you want to log into your Go High Level, let's take a quick peek so I know where you stand. Okay, it says seamless WordPress hosting. Experience WordPress hosting at its best with our fast and secure infrastructure, enterprise level features, enjoy effortless site migration, one-click management, and rock solid backups in one powerful package. And it costs $14.99 a month. So it's totally doable.
okay. All right. So I guess where I am right now is we get clear on what the transition date's going to be.
Yeah.
If I know the transition date, I can kind of back in. But what we know is I need to be prepared for the website migration, turn off things that we don't necessarily need, but also know that there is a newsletter that's going out
Hmm.
on Go High Level. It looks like I've got like 1,000 people on it, and so I mean I've got a starting point to carry over.
Yeah. And we
But
can copy everything that's there
okay, and would
and
you be
just
doing that, or would your assistant be doing that?
um either one. I mean, I
Okay,
can do it in 2 seconds, and
okay.
it's sometimes that's easier than me giving him a job to do. Um, which I'm working on getting better at that. Um,
Can we mirror what's in the Sparkative
yep,
and we mirror it kind of behind the scenes, and they don't even know we
yeah.
got it? That's kind of where I guess I would do it. If we could go mirror the website
Mhm.
such that I don't really anticipate this going south. Don't get me wrong.
I don't either,
But at the
actually.
same time, the prudent, I need to have the self-confidence, excuse me. I need to have the confidence that when a date's picked, that transition goes as smooth as possible. And at the end of the day, it's not, so what if I lose a website for, I mean, right? I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not that wrapped up around the axle, but the assumption is, what is the go forward strategy? Right now, it sounds, what I don't have a clarity on is what is my opt-in,
Hmm.
because that's what you said. I need to replace the call Mike, and so I need an opt-in.
Yep.
So we've looked at the pitch deck, um, the go forward strategy, just so we can complete that conversation. So what would you suggest? You didn't say this, but can I just blurt out to you what's kind of crossing my
Yeah.
mind? Okay. Suzanne, particularly in this transition, I want to be as transparent with you as I can be. Okay. Meaning, if you're allowing me to kind of ramp up from a financial standpoint, it means I've got to be totally forthright with you as to what am I generate in the terms of new income.
I mean, I trust you, and
Right.
as far as that
I guess where I'm
goes.
going with this is that, looking at the kind of numbers you kind of floated, I would need, if I had one coaching client at the $4,000 a month,
Mhm.
then I've almost covered the all-in expense of everything you mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand that. So I mean, I'm being realistic here. But if my goal is to have 10 coaching clients at all
Hmm.
times and a few consulting clients at all times, um, and then I have a predictable income stream and that I can kind of cover these overhead. Um,
Yeah. And I would say first on the to-do list is none of the things we talked about today. It's getting you into sales conversations. Nothing else is needed except to get you out of busy work and get you out of thinking about where's the website going to go, what's my opt-in, what's my content, and get you helping more people. Period. That solves everything else.
correct.
And I see it in you because I have that too. And it wasn't until somebody kicked my ass and said, "What are you doing? Spending all this time talking to people, going to networking events, collecting people if they're not receiving value from you and being invited to sales conversations." And I was like, oh, oh, it really is about, it's not vanity numbers. It's how many people am I actually working with? How many people are paying me every month? And I promise you, when you see how easy it is to get a $2,000 a month client, and we have a conversation and we're like, yeah, might got a $2,000 a month client. Okay, the next one that you talk to, it's 2,500. See how easy that is. The more you charge, the easier it is. I don't know why, because people value it more. And you have enough experience and enough years under your belt that just your years on this planet warrant charging more than some 24-year-old executive coach.
Okay. Agreed.
Okay, awesome. So, first step, let me show you real quick what this system on LinkedIn looks like.
Do you have growth intentions at the top of the hour?
Yes,
And am I supposed to be part of that?
you can be a part of that if you would like. Um, it's once a month now, the first Wednesday of the month, and it is more focused on goals, reaching them, numbers, accountability, more of a true, like, we're not going to be having a learning topic every week. It's accountability and growth focused because all of the learning content is now in the online course,
Okay.
which I'll show you guys where that's going to be. And all the videos are there. So if you have a question about building your email list, you go and do the email list section on your own. Doesn't involve me teaching the same thing over and over. Yay! So happy. But we can start having you use this system on LinkedIn ASAP. So let me close out Safari. It's a Google Chrome plugin. I'm going to share my screen and very simply show you what's possible. Now, I just started I was using another system and it was kind of glitching on me and not doing what I needed to do. So basically, here's the Google plugin, the Chrome plugin right here. It's called EVY AI. And you give that access to LinkedIn. And basically, let me move your head. What it allows you to do, I'm going to go and visit your profile, which I haven't added you to my list. So I'm going to look at your profile. And what's cool about this is you only have to visit the people you want to pull in to the system. You only have to visit their profile once. So tomorrow, when I want to comment on your post, I don't have to visit your profile again. So I like that. My other system was showing me visiting people's profiles numerous times, and I didn't like that. So basically, I go right over here to this little purple dot, and I click Save Profile. Now I can click on this and add you to a list. So you are one of my clients. You're also a coach. And that's it. Now you're on those two lists for me. Now what's really cool, I'm going to open up your recent activities, and then it opens up a new tab and it shows me your activity feed, which this is how I used to save everybody, which kind of got a little daunting. So now I'm seeing your most recent post, which was 2 hours ago, and I'm going to comment on it. And here's what this software can do. I click on the icon and I can pick a comment. So my favorite one is to build relationships. So I already know you. I'm just working on either building a relationship or encouraging engagement. So one of those two. I always stay either conversational or funny.
Okay.
So we're going to go conversational, Chat GPT-4, and it's going to generate a comment. Now, before it goes onto LinkedIn, I get to approve it or not. Okay, so I'm going to say reminds me of your insights on enhancing productivity. And I'm going to get rid of that last sentence.
Are you going to tag me on that?
I can.
I mean, my question is, how do you do that?
I'll show you.
Okay. Without
So
mentioning.
once I insert it,
Yep.
I can
Okay, got it. Thank
tag you like that. And then post, and that's it. And then, you know, I could do a couple of viewers at one time.
Okay.
Now, the cool part about the plugin in general is that if I open it up, here's it gives you a full dashboard of what I'm doing. Get your head again. And it's going to show me all my saved profiles. Now, I can't email from here, but I can manage all of these people that I'm connected to on a routine basis. So I can take my saved profiles, and this is what my assistant's going to be doing once everybody is loaded into here. He can click on this list of podcasts to be on, hit apply, And look, I only have one saved so far. But he can then see this list of 50, 100 podcasts I'm going to make. He can click on recent activity and he can start commenting on these people's posts for me. So you get the idea.
Yes.
The other thing I like about this, when we're talking prospects, right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm already talking to him. He was a guest on my podcast, and we're talking about working together. All of these have already expressed interest in meeting with me. They've already received value from me. And all I need to do is nurture them a little bit and invite them onto a call. So, for example, Sandy, the first thing I would change about her, I already know what I would do with her to get her like more visible, more prestige, charging a higher price. So I'm going to go to her profile, to her activity. Now she hasn't posted anything since New Year's. Probably because she's on retreat or something. So I'm not going to comment. But I could easily send her a message and say Happy New Year and start that conversation going. So that's how I do it.
Got it.
And it's 20 minutes a day. My list of influencers to comment, I have not put everybody in here yet.
So that takes me off this hard list.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And is there this EVA? There's a fee for that?
There is. I believe it's under $30 a month. And is there a free version? Yes, but you can't make lists of people.
Okay. I'll check that out. But again, this is, I mean, Evernote, whatever EDAI is.
Yes.
I'll check that as well. You need to get ready for the next call.
Yeah, they're already here in the waiting room.
So
Are you staying or no?
just stay on this line.
Yeah.
I guess the answer is I'm prepared to, and I guess it's consistent. This will be your only monthly on the Growth Intention, correct?
Yes. Well, and the book club on the 4th Wednesday.
I haven't read any of those books. I haven't read January yet, for sure.
Okay. January is a great book. If that will distract you from what we're doing.
I did get this one at your
recording. All right. Welcome everyone. 2024 Growth Intentions. I'm really excited for the new format, which we will be debuting today. I want you to think of Growth Intentions now as your fuel for growth, your accountability, and also the focus on your number one goal. Number one goal. Not number 50 goals, not 5 years from now goals. And I've discovered something about myself in this process that I'm going to share with you, that I'm really good at making 5-year, 10-year goals, but taking the actual next step and then the next 30 steps, not so much. And Nagor has helped me see that those little steps to achieving the big vision, if you're a visionary, you need help getting those little steps not only accomplished, but actually thinking about the 5 or 10 little steps to get you to that next milestone. And so thank you, Nagor, for helping me see that and helping me accomplish, this big vision that I have. I really appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Oh, you're so welcome. So what we're going to do for this first Wednesday of the month moving forward is one, you're going to share a win from the past month. And then you're going to share your number one goal for this month, what you're working on, and then how we can help you. And that's a crowdsourcing thing. That's putting it out to the group. For example, I have a workshop next Monday. What do I need help with? Getting some strangers to that workshop. I've spent a month researching that content, putting that together. I would love some strangers to be in the room. So if you know somebody who would benefit from learning how to distraction proof their business, I would love for you to invite them, and I'll share the link in the chat. So something along those lines, something, I am working on learning this so I can do this, and I need help. I need to meet someone. I need maybe an accountability partner for those little steps to get accomplished. Something along those lines. How's that sound? Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to pick on Denise because, and that's a great color on you.
Thank you.
Because I feel like she's so close to hitting this big hairy goal of hers.
Hairy goal.
Hairy. But there's something missing. And I want you to ask for help from the group because I think we can help you.
Okay. Well, interestingly, what is it my win from the past month? Actually, my win for the past month, I've been jokingly saying I took the month of December off. I did, but I didn't. I worked on a project in December. It's my Forever Wellness Lifestyle Toolbox, which essentially is my online program. It's kind of what I do with my group program, and my one-on-one clients. But really, it's just the videos and kind of like just the online stuff. So I'm really excited that I got that done. Caveat: I have to re-record one video because accidentally Mark deleted it. And blame him.
Okay.
But that was something that I've been talking about for a year. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. So I'm excited. It's done. It's in there. It's ready to sell. Yay. So of course, next step, what's the next step? I need to really be talking about this and sharing it with people. So that is kind of that next step with that. My goal for this month, though, is I am giving a C-Talk, which is kind of like a TED Talk, on January 17th, and then I'm doing 3 workshops the following week for that. So my goal for this month is to create my signature talk. I've done presentations before. I got a shitload of those. This is different. And this is where I feel I'm going to up level what I'm doing. This is my signature talk that can be tweaked for the audience, but it's still the same talk. And it revolves around what I say all the time. Does anybody know, what does Denise say?
Oh, I do. I do.
What do I say?
You say, eat real food, make good decisions. I can't remember the third one.
And
Be
floss
accountable.
daily.
Floss daily.
There you go. And be accountable, personal accountability. Now, yeah, that kind of sounds boring. So the words that I choose when in this presentation are a little different, but I took a 3-day write your presentation challenge by a lady that I've known for years. I was not ready to hear her until recently. So that is my goal for the month, is to write this presentation. That's my goal for the week, to give it a test run on next Tuesday, and then the talk on the 17th with the workshops to follow, and for that to really kickstart one, people inviting me to talk in front of their audiences more, and then to monetize from there.
Okay. So number one is get in front of more people. So if anybody in the room has a group or knows of a group looking for a speaker about women's wellness, so women's networking groups, women mastermind groups, maybe female-centered podcasts for women over 40. So that looks like, finding those groups to talk in front of. And it could be, Denise, as simple as a Google search of the 10 major networking groups for women. Who runs those groups? Connect with them on LinkedIn, start a conversation. How can I provide value to your group? No sales pitch involved. Just get your face in front of more people.
Okay, love it.
Any other suggestions for Denise?
Denise, remind me where you're located.
I'm in Rochester, Minnesota.
Okay, and Daniel says he has a local group. If they do guest speakers via Zoom, he'll connect you.
Awesome, thank you.
Very well. Awesome. You feel complete?
I do. I feel complete. You guys complete me.
Yay. All right, Vicki, you're up next.
All righty. So my win has actually been, my dad has been sick. So I basically took the last 2 months off and was with him, but it also gave me a lot of time to reflect and to go back over my journals. And I noticed the cycle, my brain mindset cycle that I kept being stuck in. And so it's given me the opportunity to get out of a cycle. And I'm very excited about that. So that is my win. I'm not going to stay in that mindset cycle, which puts me in. So my goal for the month, I've got 1 for here, 2 in general. I am doing a workshop for Keller Williams. I'm revamping it with exchange choreography. So I'm in the middle of that. I would love to repurpose that as often as I can, rinse and repeat. So different ways to do that would be very helpful. I am already pitching it to Howard College, which I'm hoping they are very open to letting me do workshops for CEU credit. So I can do that for local and get a whole bunch of traction there, I think. But any other ideas are great. But my number 1 goal for the month is to finally, being honest, treat my business as a business and not a hobby. So I have actually set goals that are more business related, and I have an accountability partner. Yes, so that is really it. If you have some different ways to do that, that would be great. But I am tired of, I had it as a business when I first started, and then life got everything all muddled, and it's time to be a business.
Well, if you have plans on attending my workshop next Monday, it will rock your world.
I'm planning.
And when I say that I am the first one to love a good shiny object, I love technology. I love new tools. I love new systems, new ways of thinking, and all that will do is set you behind at reaching your goals.
Yeah.
And it's been so enlightening doing this research for what I had already had as a workshop to add current statistics to it. And I talked to Daniel a few minutes this morning about some of those statistics and some of those symptoms of that type of distraction and the stress that it actually causes your brain to be constantly spinning and looking for something, looking for something, looking for something. You never get anything accomplished. And I'm shocked at the results of 1 or 2 days of actually conceptualizing what it means to not be looking at your phone all the time.
Yeah. Well, one of my strengths on StrengthsFinder is input. It's like number 3.
Ooh,
So yeah, it makes it really hard. I have to really shut it off. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any tips for Vicky? Go ahead, Denise.
Just something that along the same lines. So, all of the noise and all the stuff and all of the people that we could be following, something that I decided this year was to stop following gurus. I've picked 2 people that I follow consistently, Suzanne Taylor King, and I would not be where I am today without Suzanne. I will tell everybody that, and I know this 110%. So Suzanne. The other person I listen to is Shirzad Chamine, because I'm in his positive intelligence group and I use that with my clients. So I have my personal development, I have my business development. And then, I decided once a month I may do some kind of additional training, a short 1 hour, whatever it may be. And so, Vicki, I think that's something, because there's so many things you can do, pick 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And, I texted Dorothy back. This thing with the, searching the groups, it's been on my list. It's now at the top of my list. So it's okay to have a list of things that you want to do and think ways to do it, but just pick 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And, there's only so much you can learn. And I have a love of learning. You have a love of learning. And I think many of us have a love of learning. But learning actually keeps you from doing. So coordinate your learning with what you're currently doing. This is a concept developed by a coach I worked with a couple years ago, Brian Johnson. It's okay, David. Brian Johnson goes deep on one topic for 1 month. He reads every book he can get his hands on that topic. So, for example, Charlotte's learning about sales right now. That's her priority. She has my permission to follow Jeff Goldberg, who's my sales guru. He's who I've learned a lot from. And if you're going to go deep on sales, read a book about sales from Dan Kennedy, preferably. Watch a video. If you're going to watch a video on YouTube, make it about sales. And everything you do is focused on that one topic. That way your brain is staying in a lane of learning rather than sales, marketing. That won't get you anywhere. So you see what I mean? Like one singular topic. For my past month, it's been distraction proofing. How to digitally minimize what I'm doing so that I can help others do the same. That's it. No YouTube videos on anything else. Unless they're exploring those abandoned mansions and castles, I can't help it. So you get where I'm going, right? Keep it singular focus. Nagore has 7 things he wants to learn about right now, and I'm constantly throwing new technology at him. Check out this, check out this. I promise I'll stop doing that because I want you to focus on what you need to learn for your business. Okay? All right, Vicki, good job. Let's go to Dorothy. Got a new haircut. It looks very nice.
So much, Dylan. I have been working 16 years ago. I created a leadership self-assessment tool, and we are now, God willing, a week or 2 away from having it completed as a digital tool, which absolutely changes the way people can use it. It changes the way people can understand their leadership. And I want to promote it everywhere under the sun. It's a free thing. And what it does is, having worked as a psychologist for seeing 42 patients a week for 20 plus years, and then as a coach, seeing the different styles of leadership that are out there: creative leader, the great thought leader, the team leader, the supportive leader, the visionary who can really get a charming, seductive soul can bring everybody into the business. And the organizational one, lock them in a room, and they like to simply create procedures and protocols. They don't need to work with people, they want order. And all of them have strengths, vulnerabilities, and all of them are predisposed to particular diseases and disorders, because I am a specialist in integrative health. So I put this all together. It's going to be out there, and I want to spread the word on this. Let people understand their strengths and limitations in the style of leader they are, because so many folks say to me, I wish I was this kind of leader. I wish I had this kind of strength. I wish I had. Own what you've got, excel at it, and then you know who to bring in to support you.
Yeah.
Don't spend your career wishing you were somebody else. Bring in the folks that can help you live your strengths. But also know that when you're filled with stress, you will develop disease. We know in the medical community, and I know Denise knows this, that stress is the cause of physical disorders.
Yeah.
Even predispositions never need to be actualized. They are only actualized when you put immense stress on your body. So I want to get that message out there. So for me, this is what I'm focusing on right now. We're just about done. I tend to overdo. I wanted 20 different outlets out there. Suzanne, we're doing 5. I just did 16 videos, ready to do 10 more. She said, no, we want 5. So I keep bringing it down so that I can then, people see this, they can love it. If they choose to work with me for 90 minutes, I can deep dive and really expand for them to understand. So my piece right now is getting the word out there, letting people know it's coming. Obviously, it's premature right now. We've got another week or so, maybe 2 to go. Get this out there and make it happen. Because for me, that's my intro. If people want to understand this, I then can meet them for 90 minutes, go deep dive. They can see if I'm somebody they would want to work with one-to-one.
Yeah.
Or I have a 10-month women's program that's a much lower financial investment, that we can do a 10-month program for women in transition.
Well, what I think is really beautiful, and I want you to understand, the art of having things be more complicated than they need to be to attract your ideal clients used to be a specialty of mine. So seeing it in other people is now easily recognizable. And when you're knowledgeable or multi-passionate or, very well educated, we feel as though we have to give more for people to sign up to work with us. And it's actually the opposite. So it's been an honor to work with you. Number one, I've learned so much. But your clear funnel now, I want to share with everyone how it's come together. From an opt-in of a free quiz to a free monthly event for leaders. So now she has 2 inputs to get exposed to being in the room with Dorothy, which she never had before. She had books and thought leadership, but she never had the experience of being with her. And now she has that. And she has 2 courses. She has a certification. She's got a 10-month program, group program, and then she has her one-on-one coaching. And you can see how that streamlined approach of the client journey is so much clearer now than just publishing content and being an author. Not that those things aren't awesome, but you really have to have that clear client journey from stranger to now knowing Dorothy, or knowing any of us. We need that. So well done. Your hard work is almost done. Almost done. How can we help you besides sharing your quiz when it's ready?
That's my first thought. Tomorrow I am speaking on Sajad's polarizing networking, and it's going in much more detail into specific technique, into specific leadership styles, and the weaknesses, the strengths, and diseases you're predisposed to. So if others want to know, he's asked me to bring 3 people in that don't generally go there. So if anybody is interested in learning more, I'd love it if you would attend. Not only could I share more of my knowledge on this, and
Mhm.
but I would really be a good podcast presenter, and by bringing other people into the program to hear him.
Yeah.
Or
Um, that, is that usually recorded?
it usually is, I believe.
Okay.
I can't
Okay.
be solid on that, but I believe so.
Okay. I was going to say, if you can grab the recording of that, that would be something good to share. I'll check for you. All right. Who wants to go next? I was gonna move on. Anybody have to leave early today?
I do.
Okay. Well, you're done, so that's good. All right. Um, please share with us your monthly event, Dorothy, your next one in the chat, so we can, all the women in the group, make sure you come.
All right. I will share Sajad's, say that quickly, Sajad's registration link for tomorrow, and I'll also put
Okay.
it my next month. Thank you.
Awesome. And don't go to the event if you're offended by the F word or inappropriate language.
Right.
Yeah, I put the link in there, but tell
Claim
people he invited you, not me, but I went ahead and put it in there. And I also included the warning label too, Suzanne. Just so
Okay. Yeah. I always kind of, I'm not a prude by any means, but some people are offended by bad language. So I let you know ahead of time.
Not for me. Not for me.
Not for me. Fuck that. No, just kidding.
we're gonna hang out with the heathen. He's gonna pray for them, right?
That's right. That's right. All right, Nikki, you want to go next?
I was just looking at the time of the event tomorrow. Yes, so a win that I had was getting my COM method trademarked. So yes, yes,
Yay!
it's actually
Amazing.
it's the design mark because COM is a very common word. So it's this specific, the colors and font COM method is trademarked, and I can start using it starting February 16th.
Amazing.
So now I'm going to talk about it because I don't talk about my book. So part of my goal, what I'd like to do is this month, so I'm speaking at the CLA on Wednesday the 17th. I'm doing the abundance mindset to attract more connections and clients, and we get to have an offer at the end. So I want to offer a complimentary seat in my group coaching program. So my goal is to create that. I feel like I want to take basically the mental fitness boot camp I did for the Max Gym, since it's already created, and just tweak it a little bit to build it around calm and achieving your goals. And so my goal is to put the promo together for that so that it entices people to want to join the group.
Amazing.
And so I have a couple of weeks, so I don't have the 6-week promo, but I feel like because I'm having people come in for complimentary, I'm hoping that it's an easier sell since it's free.
Yeah, and you're borrowing someone else's group here too. You're not filling the room on your own.
Right.
So,
Right.
6 weeks isn't a huge big deal. There's a signature talk prompt in the AI workshop in the members area. Denise, I sent you a message on that too. It's a long prompt for a signature talk, and you might have to load it with some more information about what you want the talk to be about. And that's totally fine. It turns out really, really well.
Okay.
Okay.
So use that, you're saying, for the CLA presentation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, try it. See how it turns out.
Okay.
It's like a TED Talk framework.
Framework. Okay, I'll take a look at it because what I'm doing, I sold. It was something that I sold at earlier last year, and I'm basically going to do the same presentation. I have the slides made and everything, but I can look at the framework and see if I could fit it into that.
Yeah, it might just give you a good opening line and a good closing, or
Yeah.
something to zhuzh it up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
So I want to work on that just to see how I can make it appealing to want to take the time to do this weekly group program.
Okay. Any more thoughts on a monthly attractor event?
Yeah, I want to do that too. I was looking for where that information is on how to do that.
I'll find it for you.
Okay, thank you.
The worksheets for it are in the Google Drive folder, but I put all of the attractor event planning and worksheets in one single folder. I'll grab the
Okay.
link to it. for
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You feel complete?
Yes.
Awesome. So speaking for Nikki as well, any groups, who want a presentation on relaxing and calming and all of those things, we'll definitely put you on the list for my group of coaches, within the next 6 months too. Yeah, I just think it's so beneficial for entrepreneurs in general to learn how to do that. So
Yeah, calm your mind.
calm your mind. Awesome. All right, Jackie, how about you? How you making out?
I'm good. My biggest win is that I haven't given up already.
Yay!
Still here.
Good.
It's not always easy, but this is my first week meeting my girlfriend with her office. And so actually carving out time. Trey went to my parents earlier. I'm not sitting at my house. I can't see them leaving and doing and whatever. So it's really time that I can focus on me and finishing things up. And so my goal for January is just very simple, to get something out there generated and launched that generates income. So, super simple. Doesn't have
Super
to be,
simple.
doesn't have to be giant. It's just some starting point of finally taking all my thoughts and ideas. And I'm very much I need to learn more, and I need to learn more, and I need to learn more before I actually do anything, like you were talking about. So stopping
Well,
doing that
remember,
and
you don't have to have a program and a course and a curriculum in order to coach people. Coaching is
Right.
a relationship where you help the person in front of you get to their next goal. You are excellent at that, and there's no reason you can't start doing that today.
Yeah, I helped my best friend with that, with her farm, and she has 5 new customers already for farm camps and different things in South Carolina, that we were just hashing out ideas. And I put my son in this farm school class, and I called her and I was like, I don't know why you're not doing this. You live there and you have animals and you have a building. And she messaged me yesterday and she's like, I had 5 people signed up and my ads didn't even go live yet. And I'm like, see, we just figured out what works. So now it's just getting in front of some. She is right near Columbia, actually. She is in Travelers Rest. So not too far from you at all, Daniel.
That's
So
near Greenbush. It's about 90 minutes from me.
Well, then it's not super duper close, but yeah, she was looking for jobs outside of the property, and she still has 30 goats and all these other chickens and things to take care of. And I'm like, why are you leaving if you love it there? Why don't you bring people in? You've homeschooled before, so work with homeschool groups. You've done this, so do that. And so she got a photographer, stuck some of her goats in Santa costumes, took pictures, posted that, so simple. And so I guess my question to the group is, I love ideas and I love giving other people ideas, as long as I don't have to do them, because I usually get stuck with implementation and I don't want to do that. I want to just word vomit other people's ideas when they tell me what they want to get to next. So how do you get in front of people that are looking to give you money for that? I need to be paid now. So how do I do that?
Yeah. Well, number 1 is talk to more people. Number 1 is get in front of more people. So come to Polarizing Networking tomorrow, and which is a fire hose of people and a very, I'm not going to say unprofessional, but a very non-uptight networking experience. And
well, that's my preferred at this point.
Right. So
get a 2-year-old,
a 2-year-old could probably come. And so what I'm saying is there's not a room full of people who are buttoned up, uptight, doing a perfect pitch. You know, it's just people coming to meet each other. And if you want to come and meet people, do that as much as possible. And just allow the conversations to happen more and more and more. And my challenge for this week is to reach out to every single one of your old clients from when you were a health coach, every single one, and just say Happy New Year. How are you? What are you working on for 2024? And I bet you can be of value to a couple of those people. That's your only
Okay.
homework, is to have more of those
I can do it.
conversations.
I can totally do it.
Awesome.
Love it. And I love Judy shaking her head about the 2-year-old because he could be just like in the background, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not that 2-year-old.
No, it's the language. I mean, you might not want him repeating what he hears.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't think of
he's
that.
very familiar with that language. That's why it's a good networking group for me.
Awesome. All right, Jackie, you're clear on your homework. Conversations. Every single one of your old clients you're going to reach out to, and use different mediums to reach out to them. Don't just send them a Facebook DM. If you have their phone number, freaking call them. Pick
Oh, I
up the
do.
phone and call them.
Okay.
Even if you have to leave a message, it's more connected. It's more real.
Okay.
Okay? Awesome.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Daniel
Thank
Andrews,
you.
you're up next.
All right, here I am.
All right, win from last month, and what are we working on?
Win from last month. I took a real vacation. 23rd and the 30th, mostly Key West, one day in Charleston. Met up with 2 of my clients in Charleston too, so that was kind of fun. Yeah, my wife and I spent 168 hours in each other's company, and we still like each other, so that's really cool. Furthest we got was like one of us was 2 stores down from the other one, so that was fun.
Great.
And that was that was a push for me. By the way, those who know the whole story, mom and her husband have been ailing and dying for about 1.5 years, and both passed in the last few months. So there was some flexibility in scheduling, and my wife and I took advantage of that. So it felt really good. 2024, I am putting more of an emphasis on what I call Ninja network building skills. Some of my communities that I convene, one locally, one digitally, they're in good shape. Probably 40% of my effort there. Ninja network building skills, looking to add a few people personally, i.e., one-off enrollment. It's a closed-ended coaching program, 90 days. And I'm looking to do more corporately. I've got several high-quality leads, as in people that actively want me to work with them to get it into their company. We just got to figure out what it looks like for them. But they have anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand people that need these skill sets. And I found out one of the organizations spends $5 million a year on pins that they know are going to be stolen from their branch offices because they think it helps their bottom line. And I'm like, I just added 2 zeros to what I'm going to bill you guys because I think 2 million sounds like a good number if you're wasting 5 million on pins. So
$5 million on like pins? Like a pin? Oh, pens.
they know they're going to be stolen from their branch offices, but they think that's good marketing. They think there's a return on $5 million worth of pins.
I'm just in disbelief at what swag
Just
company
tells me
has
how much
that
money is laying
contract.
around for them to spend on things that actually make a difference.
That's what I was just thinking.
I mean, literally, I was going to do it for like 20K, and now I'm like, nope, 2 million.
Wow.
Anyway, it's I'm
Okay.
putting more focus on corporate. So,
Okay.
yeah, right. And in defense of my friend who's inside, when he was first hired, one of his jobs was cost containment, and he tried to get rid of the pins. He's like, clearly they've got to go. And they're like, no, clearly they're staying. So somewhere further up the line is convinced, but it's basically giving him a green light in his mind to spend money. So that could be good. Okay. Anyhow, so that's what I'm working on. Support from y'all. What does that look like? Is anything that points towards Ninja. I've got several, just kind of like Dr. Dorothy has several approaches. Direct introductions to anybody that oversees more than a couple of salespeople. Like, so a broker from a real estate office is a good introduction. A region, district, area manager, they all have different titles, or director for financial services like Thrivent or Mutual of Omaha or Modern Woodman or Edward Jones, stuff like that. Somebody that oversees an office, one or more offices of mortgage lenders or insurance agents, right? State Farm, Allstate, stuff like that. Want to be doing more with that. One thing that I do on a recurring basis that you guys can point people towards, and I'll make sure you get the link here in a minute. About every 10 days, I hold a conversation online. It's not a workshop, it's not a networking event, it's a conversation about the differences between low value and high value networking spaces. I divide, Charlotte's not because she's seen it. I divide networking into 4 quadrants based on 2 criteria. Is it transactional or relational? So that's one scale. Is it accidental versus intentional? I think Vicki nodded because she's seen it too, which is another scale. So that gives you 4 quadrants, right? Low, low, high, 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 low, low, high. And that's a good way for people to be introduced to the concept that there is a right way to build long-term relationships. And I do that for free. And then I'm experimenting with, in a couple of weeks, in a training / sales pitch, 90-minute seminar, 75 minutes of which will be content heavy and fit the last 15 minutes. And I will make a market transition and make sure people know. I mean, they'll know when we start that there's going to be training and an enrollment process. And I'm attempting to enroll people in Ninja in a group setting for the first time. And I've put a price tag on that. I'll give it to you guys for free with a coupon code. But I'm putting a price tag on it because, number one, it's valuable. Number two, I don't want a bunch of people. 98% of the people that sign up, if it was free, won't come. Then they'll ask me to send them the recording, which is time and power on my part, which they won't watch. So I'm putting a number on it. So if people register, I don't mind sending the report because it means they cared enough to, put some money down. But
and are you recording that? Is that
I will record it, and then
okay.
I don't know, if someone has paid to enroll or enrolled with a free code, right? If somebody is enrolled and they ask for the recording, I'll give it to them. If somebody wants to watch it later, then the recording will be out there, and I can, sell or give that recording away too. But okay. I'll put the link in here and the free code. And I would ask you guys, and I'll put another discount code. So for y'all, free code. If you share it anywhere, you can include the discount code.
Okay.
But I'll put that in the chat box.
And so there's the area member shared resources you can share there. Or if you want to charge for it, we could put that in the community and, charge a small fee for that workshop from you.
Okay, you can connect on that. I suspect inside the community, I'm inclined to give it away.
Okay.
Or maybe, I don't know if you can tier it, but if somebody's paying you $200 a month, right, it's free. If they're paying 10, then they need to pay $2 for it.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
And that goes for all of you. I'm going to show you at the end today where you can put your free resources. And then if you'd like to have a paid resource, where we can put it and how we can charge for it. And you get 90% of it. So if you're interested in doing that, we just have to set up a time and then set it up. It's pretty easy. All right, Daniel. So we're going to share that for you. You're going to put the link in the chat to your next one. And awesome. All right, let's go to Judy next. And then we'll go to Nagore, and we have Mike and Charlotte to still go, and David, who just rejoined us. Go ahead, Judy.
Okay, so the wins. I have a subscription program, a monthly subscription program for people. And I had one person renew last month and a new subscriber sign up for it last month. So that felt good to add to the number of people in it and see people wanting to still stay. I've got, for the goal for this month, I've got a new offer coming out. It's going to launch February 1st. And it's going to be a series of videos. It's a product, and it's about love languages and the types of subconscious beliefs that keep you from either comfortably receiving or giving one of those love languages. So yeah, and it's not just about romantic relationships, right? It's about communication and being able to listen to what's important to somebody else and being able to, respond with that appropriately. So, it might be the foundation of some other like programs and stuff, but right now I'm just focused on getting the videos recorded, set up, a workbook, doing all the a sales page, all that stuff for this month. So that's what I'm going to be working on.
Okay. And do you currently do a free event once a month?
I have been doing it. I've still got one scheduled for this month. I'm not sure I'm going to continue because it really hasn't been that well attended.
Are you promoting it like aggressively, or?
I've been doing things on Thursdays to promote it. Because of the holidays, I haven't really said about the next one's coming up next week. And I'll put something out this Thursday. It's been every Wednesday morning at 10 for over a year now. It's about getting rid of head trash, right? And just different aspects of head trash that get in people's way.
Okay. Well, if it's getting posted, if you want my resources on how to promote a monthly event, David George Brook, who's not here today, he's getting between 40 and 60 people at his monthly event, and he's had over 250 people register. So that means 250 people are added to his email list, and he's now in communication with them, they're getting a nurture sequence from him and being re-invited to that monthly event every month. And he's launching a paid coaching program to those people. So it's a great list builder, number one, but it's a lot of effort to really build quality people for an event like that. So happy to push you a little bit more on that if you want it, Judy.
I appreciate that. But, I've got this new offer that's coming out, and I've got something else that's following the next month. That's another new offer. And I've got more excitement around those than I do this monthly things. Right. I think I'm going to pay attention to what I get excited about. And
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to pay attention to what lights you up and what drives you forward. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything
so
else?
Whenever it's ready, if people sharing it, if they feel so inclined, that would be terrific.
Okay.
That's my yeah.
Okay. You got it. All right, Nagor, you're up next.
Hi, Susan.
Hi.
My big win from last month, I closed two new clients. And my goal, thank you. My goal this week, I aim to complete the quiz funnel for my new client within this week. And for my goal for January, I want to become better at sales and content creation. And I'm binge watching a lot of content, so I want to become an action taker, and I want to be more focused and improve my communication skills as well, and express myself freely. So I'm a shy, introverted person, so I want to become more comfortable sharing my thoughts and ideas openly.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on picking your topic for January and learning nothing else but that topic.
Okay.
Yay. And if I happen to show you something, tell me I'm not supposed to be doing that, and I'll hold you accountable to not learning anything else new. How can we help as far as where you're going?
So I'm struggling with focus, and I'm kind of sometimes feeling backing off I could not able to take action, when I'm making content, but there's so many reasons I'm not making videos. I used to make videos, but I'm not making videos nowadays, maybe.
Okay. Are you available to come to that networking event tomorrow and meet
Sure.
some strangers? Awesome. The link's in the chat. I think that would be a great group for you to meet people who could use your help. How can we hold you accountable for the video creation, for the content creation part?
Mhm. Maybe you could ask for my progress, maybe. I will share content later. Maybe you can ask me.
Okay. Finish up with the AI workshop worksheets and let me know
Okay.
when they're completed. Send those to me, and then we'll move on to the next step.
Okay, Susan. Sure.
Okay. And communication, Charlotte, whatever you have as far as communicating, send Nagor's way. And if you have a free resource or any videos for him, he's working on practicing his English as well. So any resources for English as a second language would be really helpful. And he's doing a lot better. So good job, Nagor.
Thank you, Susan.
Do you have your family speaking English at home or no?
No, we
No.
speak our local language.
Okay. That's hard when you're going back and forth, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Mike O'Neill.
All right, I got a question for y'all first. Have you ever had in your mind, I need to do something, but you're reluctant to do it? I've spent years knowing I need to do something, but I didn't do it. My win is I did it. And I made a decision to make some changes. The changes would mean moving away from some folks who have not advised me well in the past and moving forward with those who I think we all would agree can and will, Suzanne in particular. And so what I have made a decision to do is kind of fine tune what I can do for clients, whereas I was wearing multiple hats, consulting, training, and coaching. I'm really going to be leaning in 24 into coaching as an executive coach. I want to leverage that 40 years I've kind of amassed that I think and know that I can help others. And with Suzanne and her team's help, I'm going to make known. So that's going to result in pretty much kind of a rebrand of me and my business. It's called Bench Builders, but the focus is going to be on coaching and for me to kind of live into my value as a coach and to be able to, when asked, not blush, quote a rate, and know that I'm worth every penny of it. So that would be my win, and that's a recent yes. My goal, therefore, in 24 is now to go execute on that plan. And as you can expect, there's a lot to do. What I need to do is do what's got to get done, but don't get distracted by all the stuff and really focus. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to grow my business. I want to help more people and I want to generate more revenue. And I need to be focused on the revenue generation part. So I know that there's going to be this transition, but my intent in 24, starting in January, is to work through that transition as quickly as possible and just really focus on sales, quite frankly.
Conversations. And now you said it publicly, so we're going to hold you to that.
I'm on the hook.
Welcome aboard for 2024. More conversations and, go through your phone, just like I challenged Jackie to do. Go through your phone. Who have you not talked to in a long time? You have 150, I believe, past podcast guests to reach out to. You have no shortage of people to have conversations with. So well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Charlotte.
Well, I can commend Mike for his ability to do the coaching. We had an introductory call, I don't know, a month or 6 weeks ago. And after my conversation with him, I completely reassigned my potential avatar. like just after him enlightened me about some of the people that I'm going to be calling on, anyway, just in that get to know you call. So I think that's a great move for you. A couple of wins. I took the idea you're talking about, Suzanne. You mentioned it a couple of weeks ago in a session to reach out to all these people you haven't talked to. Well, for me, it's mostly former parents and PTSO people and soccer parents. And so this morning, I've already sent out like 15. I came up with just kind of a standard, who do you know, third party stuff that we did last fall, and then just said, hey, Happy New Year, reaching out to friends I haven't talked to in a while, want to share what I'm doing and find out what you're doing. And it's the, who do you know with this. And so I've already sent out about 15 and we'll continue to do that. But I have a funny story to tell you related to my goal, which is sales, as Suzanne explained. There's a fella in Charlotte, thought leader, lots of followers. His company works with cultures and leadership, etc. Well, I've connected with him on LinkedIn. I've reached out to him a couple of times asking for a conversation. Silence, nothing. I followed him. I've reposted a couple of his posts on LinkedIn. And about 2 weeks ago, I had gone to a local little restaurant to get some lunch and an iced tea and do some work just away from my office. I was leaving and this man walked by and I thought, I wonder if that was so-and-so, because I'd seen him, his picture on LinkedIn, and I started to wait and introduce myself, but he walked another way and I thought, no, that's too creepy. That would be stalkerish. So on a whim, about a week and a half ago, I went to LinkedIn. I sent him a direct message and I said, this is a weird, story, but did you happen to be at such and such a restaurant? Yes, that was me. And so we started this dialogue, and I had already bookmarked a YouTube video for him that he had produced that I had not had time to watch. I'd already bookmarked it. And in the conversation, he said, oh, by the way, my social media person has had me doing these videos. Will you give me feedback? And I said, well, this is going to sound really stalkerish, but I actually have that bookmarked to watch. And so it was a way for me to read it. I reposted it on LinkedIn because it was a really good thing. So this morning I reached out and I said, hey, can we get some time together? And he sent me his Calendly link. So it was just very much out of my comfort zone. But I thought, what could I lose, sending him this strange message? So that all leads to the goal of sales. And so I am reaching out, like y'all have already said, to people I haven't contacted in a while, trying to start reaching out to potential target people through LinkedIn and email. I want to look for groups to speak to locally. I've got one, the only one I've got lined up right now is a local Chamber of Commerce emerging leaders group that I'm going to be speaking to in March. But I would love your ideas on other groups to look for that might have some potential managers and HR managers. And also, if you have other suggestions other than LinkedIn, email, I did start reading one of those Get the Meeting books this weekend, and I can't remember the titles one, but it's, that kind of thing. Do y'all have any other suggestions than a lot of the things we've already talked about?
Unfortunately, probably not. It's more conversations. And if it's 5 people a day, 10 people a day, 50 people a day, what I tell a real estate agent who's just getting started, who hasn't had their first listing, is they're going to have to talk to 1,000 people before they get a listing. And so right now, this is one about building your network. So you have to have more conversations to weed out the crappy people in the network and the quality people in the network. Low, people who don't connect you. So lean into the ones who are good connections, who could introduce you, and meet more of those people. Obviously, low quality networking groups aren't going to get you anywhere right now. You have to be in that, 4th quadrant that Daniel explains. Yeah. I love, there's a great example that Daniel shared the first time I went to his workshop, that most people who go to networking meetings are concerned with meeting more people, more. And when I go to an in-person event or even a virtual event, one person, the best person in the room, who's the best person in the room, and get good at finding that person. Whether it's the way they're dressed, the way they carry themselves, what they're talking about, how they interact with you, and just get really good at discerning who that person is in the room. Who's the person that everybody wants to talk to? Most likely, that's who you're going to want to talk to too. Yes,
Thank
Jackie,
you for all the
so
comments.
true.
I'm gonna go back and read these. Thank you.
Yeah, Jackie, it's a great story of, me speaking locally to a group of women as a favor to a
That's
friend.
not where we met. You were literally selling essential oils in somebody's living room.
Oh, really?
At Gina's, you had a table for essential oils, and my friend Jackie had a CBD booth.
Oh my God.
And I came, it was a
right.
Christmas party. And that's where we met. Then I connected you to the networking group and you were the MC for that event.
That's right.
Like it was that long ago.
Oh my God, that was a long time ago when I started my wholesale essential oil company. Holy crap. Had no idea.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then Jackie got me a speaking gig because she introduced me to Cheryl Campbell and this event that Cheryl was hosting. And guess who's going to become a client of mine very shortly? Cheryl Campbell. So the circle of that is ridiculous. So just keep doing more of that. Do you feel complete, Charlotte? Anything you need? Okay. David Visco.
Hey everybody, great to see you. You got some great plans coming. I'm really eager to hear how you're all going to wind up for 2024. But for those of you that don't know what I do, I help service-based business owners price, package, and market their business and their services so that they can scale beyond $1 million and do that while actually getting to spend enough time with their families for a change. So let's see, I had a great month. I added one person, a new client to my weekly group. I upgraded one of my group members to a one-on-one client, and I signed a nonprofit company to do their strategic planning for 2024. So it's pretty cool. And then just last night, somebody I've been chasing for about a month, a big fish for me, sent me an email like 9:30. Yeah, I'm going to join. So what time is the weekly call tomorrow? So he's going to be a weekly group member and a big time weekly one-on-one client for me. It's my first big one. So
Nice.
I'm psyched about that. And what I'm working on for the year is designing a 12-week signature evergreen program. Starting to really kick butt on my content management plan. I've decided to use Alignable to become the local small business coach in the area. I'm up in New Hampshire. And yeah, a good intro for me is a service-based business owner. It's trying to get to $1 million and beyond. And also I help business owners that are looking to sell within a few years. I have a whole separate service that I provide for that. So if you know a business owner that's got 2 or 3 million in revenue and looking to sell within a few years, I can help them do that. I've got a really great way of doing that and increasing their value so they get the biggest payout possible. So that's what I got going on.
I have one quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is your price for 2024 the same as last year for your one-on-one coaching?
No, ma'am.
It's how
Higher.
much more? How much more for everybody else in the room?
I went up 20%.
Okay.
I do have, what makes it a little challenging is like if somebody's brand new and they're barely doing 100,000 in revenue versus my new big fish that's doing 3 million and up. Kind of two different price points there, but for those two price points, I bumped them both.
Excellent.
without a bat of an eye. The guy that signed last night, the big fish, is the highest price I've ever put out there.
And
Wow.
was it easier to sell him than somebody at, you know, the $500 a month range?
Yeah, I would say so. 'Cause he's a more seasoned business owner, you know, that appreciates the value
Yeah.
more, and he's trying to sell as well in a few years, so he's got something in his sights, so he knows he needs help to get there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
I knew that, but I wanted him to share that for everyone else in the room, because I can say it all day long that it's easier for me to sell something that's $4,000 versus, you know, $250. But when you hear it from someone else, it's more powerful, and it's truly transformational when you wrap your head around the fact that the clients you want to work with want to pay you more because it holds them accountable. You know, this group is only $200 a month, and I see the difference with how much work my $2,500 a month and my $4,500 a month clients do. The information is the same. It's the accountability that's different. It's the, you know, access that's different. And that's it. And once you wrap your head around that the clients that you want to work with, and Denise and I just talked about a really specific ideal client for her, could be a doctor's or a surgeon's wife, because that's what she is. And they will resonate with her, and they have the money to spend, and they understand the value of health.
It's really just a mindset shift.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
not all of them do understand the value of health.
Well, that's your job to get in front of them. And I bet you there's an organization that's the wives of doctors. Just got to find them and talk to them. Thank you, David. I appreciate
you.
that. All right, guys, that wraps us up for today. Only 6 minutes over. Thank you. Thank you for the new format. Our book club this month is a new book for me and a new author for me. It's called Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal.
Just heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ali is a ridiculous story. He started a YouTube channel when he was in med school that was a video blog. And by the time he graduated from med school, he was making about $40,000 a month from his YouTube channel. And he became a doctor, continued filming one video a week about how he stayed productive and on target. And after 2 years in med school, which was 2018, I believe, his channel was making $1 million a year. $1 million a year from productivity habits from a doctor. And he said, what am I doing? Stressing myself out, working 80 hours a week as a doctor. I'm going to be a YouTube guy. And now he makes $4 million a year. He sold everything he has, and he lives in Bali and teaches productivity. Kind of love it. Kind of love it. So that's our book club for this month. And if you check the events tab in the members area, and you respond to the book club, which is the 4th Wednesday at 11, you will see the list of books for the year. So I've already prepared you for what's coming for the next year. And I'll share my screen really quick and show you where to find everything. So our replays are here in the classroom, and the Growth Intentions course is going live. The first 3 videos will be up And so you'll need to go and join that group. And I will show you there's a whole curriculum that will be available for you on demand. You don't have to go in order. You can skip around and get the content that you need. Under the resource tab, the pink one, this is where you can share your resources. So feel free to share an opt-in, a link, a YouTube video, a training, whatever you desire to share with the community as we grow. And then the events tab. This is our mastermind for today. That is a recurring event. Once you say yes to it, it will go on your calendar. The town hall event is the first Friday every month. That's for new member orientation. I recommend that if you want to meet the new members. It's a great way to kind of get in touch with people in a smaller room. Workshop on Monday that is only for members of this community. People outside of the community have to pay for this. So anybody you would refer would spend $47 for this workshop. And if they decide to join, obviously it's the membership has changed a little bit. There's no more $10 a month. It's $25. And then I'm not even selling that option. I'm selling this growth intentions option. Then the next event after that is office hours. So that's the next time I'm available for growth intentions members is Friday, January 12th for office hours. That's bring your questions, bring your growth questions about the course that's going to go live, where you should be looking, what you should be learning next, and any technology questions you might have. And also, just a reminder, anybody who needs funnel software, email software, CRM, all of that, I have an all-in-one solution that you have free access to as a Growth Intentions member. You would just have to pay for setup. So see me if you want access to that. This workshop on Wednesday, January 17th is a variation on being distraction proof, but having it lead to you making $100,000. And even if your goal is to make $300,000, everything I'm doing in this workshop is applicable at a higher scale. So definitely worth your time if you can make this workshop. And there'll be some coaching at the end of that one as well. Jackie, that would be a perfect one for you. Okay.
Are these to be recorded? Because some of these I have conflicts on the schedule
Yes,
for.
everything's recorded. Any workshops end up in your growth intentions resources. So when you look at here in the resources, there will be a tab here that says workshops, and they'll be listed there. The larger workshops, like 90 minutes, will be in the classroom in your growth intentions course, all the way at the bottom. So you see these master classes, they are already recorded and they're getting loaded there. So that new one will be at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
if you ever have questions about where anything is, you can go here. This is your growth intentions only group. And you can go to ask STK and just tag me and ask the question. And I will tag the resource so you can find it quicker. The other thing, as you go through the course, there'll be homework assignments once in a while. And if you need to submit your homework assignment, you can submit it right here for my review. So I will get notified as soon as you post something in this thread and be able to look at it for you. So if you have content you want me to look at, if you have, an assignment I give you or whatever, you want my eyes on it, that's the place to submit it right here in this thread.
And will we be going through this content together? Like everybody has the same deadlines, or is it
No,
on a self-paced?
self-paced.
Okay.
And I'll show you the reason why. So Charlotte, and most of you have been here for 3 months. You've done the business intelligence, you've done competitive intelligence, you've done a little bit of offers, but this is I'm taking my content and streamlining it for all of you, and you can do sections at a time. I don't recommend individual videos at a time, though you can. So for you, Charlotte, I would go down here to start with content marketing, building your email list, and this 100 subscribers masterclass. So that's all about getting new people on your list. And there will be a sales masterclass. Did I put it in here yet? No, from Jeff Goldberg. So those little special appearance masterclasses will all be in this curriculum as well. So as this goes live, since I'm re-recording 90-minute content and turning it into 10 or 15-minute videos, and breaking them up, you'll be able to, say if you're working on your website like Mike is, he can come right to this website section and kind of decipher quickly what he needs and not listen to the stuff he doesn't need. So hopefully that's helpful. Any other questions? No? Good. Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Incredible. You have done such
Thank
a
you.
lot of work. This is going to be so nice. Thank you.
I'm really, it'll be nice for me too. So thank you. I think my brain has a tendency to overcomplicate, and this has really made me kind of be able to simplify what I'm not only teaching, but I said to Denise maybe a year ago, I'm tired of teaching the same things over and 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 over. And this is going to solve that problem for me. So if somebody has a question about connecting with people on LinkedIn and how to DM them, I don't have to teach you right now. I can say it's right here. And I don't know if you remember genius wisdom from me that said, whatever questions people are asking you all the time, record a video and send it to them. I'm taking my own advice.
Awesome. Thank you for everything you do.
You're welcome.
Go. Have a great day, everybody.
You too. Make it a great week. Remember your
Thanks,
WhatsApp
everyone.
thread if you need support. It's there for you. Nobody else gets that, just the founding members. So
Okay. Cool.
Thank
Okay.
you.